Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Beat the Experts, brought to you by Falcone Moon Ford. I'm Andrew Chiappazzi. Mike Byers is off this week. Well, the first round of the state playoffs has come and gone, and it wasn't kind to many of our local teams. Just 6 teams are left standing in the second round. 1 game is on Tuesday, 5 games on Wednesday, so let's get right down to it and preview those 6 games. Quaker Valley bounced back from a disappointing WPIAA championship loss to Newcastle and got its win in the first round. Now the Quakers will face Hickory out of District 10 on Tuesday. Hickory is the District 10 runner-up, and the Hornets are coming off a 92-52 thrashing of Bell Vernon. Hickory also has a win over Lincoln Park and played 6A Penn Hills very close, so this is a very good Hornet squad. And we know the Quakers can score, so it'll be up to Quaker Valley's defense to put up a good showing on Tuesday to ensure that Quaker Valley's season continues. Moving on to Wednesday, the Beaver girls were another team looking for a bounce-back performance after a disappointing WPIAA championship loss. That occurred with a hammering of Bell Vernon over the weekend in the first round. Now Beaver's reward for that win, a second-round matchup against Villa Maria Academy out of Erie, a team that held Blackhawk to just 27 points and just stifled Blackhawk's offense. When Beaver seniors Bella Posset, Sydney Barney, and Paige Ziggis were all freshmen, they actually beat Villa 34-33. They might need a similar performance this time around because Villa has a talented Bowling Green commit and 6'2" forward Sydney Palermo, plus a talented guard Molly Mraz, who is going to Richmond. So a couple of Division I prospects again for a Villa team that's a perennial contender. Beaver is 10-1 since mid-January, so the Bobcats have been outstanding, but they'll need to be at their best on Wednesday against Villa. Also in the Class 4A bracket on Wednesday, Ambridge is still alive, and they'll get a rematch against Cardinal Wuerl North Catholic, a team that they lost to in the WPIAA quarterfinals. There were some positives in that game despite the loss because Ambridge got back Anaya Walker, who had been out about 6 weeks with a foot injury. Not only did Walker come back, but Ambridge actually led North Catholic for the better part of the game into the third quarter. Maybe with Walker fully healthy, she came back and had a double-double in the first round of the state playoffs. Things will be better for Ambridge this time around against the WPIAA Class 4A champion North Catholic. There was no WPIAA hangover for Lincoln Park this weekend as the Leopards came off of their Class 3A championship and just dismantled Mount Union. Keno Holmes is playing inspired basketball right now. He had 34 points. So you know that Wednesday's opponent is going to try and contain him and slow the pace. That opponent is Greenville out of District 10. They won a slog against North Catholic, and the District 10 runner-up has won 5 games where they've scored less than 60 points, and they've allowed just 4 teams to score 60 points or more this season. So Greenville's going to try and keep this a low-scoring game. We'll see how Lincoln Park responds to that challenge. Ridgeway may try a similar tactic in the Class 2A game against Swickley Academy. We know Swickley Academy's high-powered offense has been exciting to watch all season long, and they continued that performance with a thrashing of Cochranton over the weekend. Ridgeway is 24-1, but it only scored 55 points in its first-round win. Got to figure that they're going to need to score more points against a Swickley team that is not only a 2-time WPIAA champion, but is also looking to defend its state crown. And if Swickley plays at the pace that it wants to on Wednesday, you got to figure that the Panthers will move one step closer to defending that state title. Finally, Olsh got back to its winning ways with the first-round win over Homer Center. Now the WPIAA runner-up will take on District 9 champion Coudersport in the second round. Coudersport has some offensive talent. They scored 71 points in their first-round win over Wilmington, and so this pace may be at a level that Olsh is comfortable with. It could be up to a young Chargers defense to have a good performance against Coudersport, because they'll need to be solid defensively if Olsh wants to continue to move on and maybe, just maybe, get one step closer to a rematch against Swickley Academy. That does it for this week's episode of Beat the Experts. You can keep track of all of these scores Tuesday and Wednesday on timesonline.com, plus any quarterfinal action over the weekend on timesonline.com. Plus, check back on Wednesday at noon for the latest edition of Game On. I'm Andrew Chiappazzi for timesonline.com. That does it for now. We'll see you soon.